Hey everybody, thanks for joining me here on the channel. It's been a while since I've done a video, but especially this one, it's taken me a long time. Summertime, vacations, work, stuff around the house, family, everything comes before all of this, but here it is. I like this little radio, the Tidradio H3, so I'm going to talk a little bit about it. One of my favorite things I like about this radio is the size. And most everybody is familiar with the Baofeng UV5R, and which is still a good purchase for a lot of reasons. But this is the comparison, the size comparison. They're very close to size. And the Baofeng has 1800, I believe, milliamp battery, if I remember right. The cool thing about the Tidradio H3, this has a 2500 milliamp battery, and I believe this one does too, the Tidradio H8. I better look at that real quick before I just start saying something. Okay, yeah, I remembered correctly. This does have the 2500 milliamp for the H8 as well, which is quite a bit bigger radio. There's the size comparison between the H8 and the H3. Same size battery. Well, same milliamp battery. And the battery performance on these things is incredible. I charged them up. This has been on literally all day, one full day, both of these, and it's down 1 bar. And I've been messing around with them and stuff like that. So we used these things out camping. We used them out on the boat back to camp. Of course, we weren't very far, maybe from the water. Actually, we got pretty good performance, not with these little stubbies, but with the bigger antenna. We had about 5 miles out on the water back to camp. So that was pretty good. It was impressive performance. So yeah, two things: battery and size, battery life and size. You know, just it's pocket radio. I mean, it's cool. Then I put the little stubby on for, you know, around the campsite, or, you know, walking around, say at a ham fest or at the fair or something like that. You can use these things car to car, all kinds of reasons, out hiking, you know, for individual use. And then the nice thing about these also is, I don't know how they get around it, but you're able to put this thing into 3 different modes. Turn it off, you press your PTT, you hold your little star key here, and then you turn it on. You hold it at the same time and turn it on. And then it goes into that ham, GMRS, or normal. So if you press 1, you go into ham radio mode, 2 is GMRS mode, and 3 is basically wide open. You can put whatever you want in there. So we're just going to go with 3, and then it's going to give you this. Just press 1 for yes. It's going to reboot. Now it still says GMRS frequencies in there, but you can put in ham radio frequencies as well. So that's pretty neat. And if you're not licensed or whatever for ham radio, you can still monitor those. I use these things for GMRS mainly, for the family and friends and stuff like that. So they perform really great. One nice thing is, let me find it here. You've got the backlight is continuous. That's kind of cool. I like that option. And then that's how you, if you're on a repeater, that's menu 13 is CTCSS. You just put in your CTCSS codes and you're good to go. Another nice thing is, let me find it. They got a lot of menus in this thing. So brightness, I've got an older one of these that does not have the firmware that allows the brightness. So if you don't have that in one of these things, just upgrade the firmware and it'll give you the brightness. I have it set on 1 right now for the camera, but it actually does pretty good. Let's go back in, and I want to find this one to show you guys. There we go. Mic gain setting. On cheaper radios, a lot of, well, in fact, a lot of radios, you don't find a mic gain setting. The H8 has a really nice mic gain setting, and it really matters. You can adjust it. A lot of people you talk to, the audio is very low, so I really appreciate having the mic gain setting. And it's got airband, receive. So yeah, not bad, not bad. And you got Bluetooth here. They have an H3 Plus that actually does better with the Bluetooth, according to my research. I don't really use that with headphones or anything like that. I don't care about all that stuff. I just use these for your basic old man ham radio, radio to radio or repeater. But the H3 Plus has Bluetooth, and I guess it works with some headphones. This does have Bluetooth programming with the OD Master app. I have not done that. I don't care about that either, personally. You might, and programmability is probably okay with it. I don't need all that stuff just for what I'm using. Even with the ham radio stuff, you can, once you learn the repeaters that you're using regularly, you know, the tones, you can put these things in. You can program these things with your software as well. Another nice thing I like about these little things is USB-C charging. That is a must these days. It's pretty cool. And you can carry these things. What I like about these things is the mobility with some sort of, I might have it here, I'm not sure. 1 second, I'll show you what I use with. Okay, this is what I use with it. This is your Patriot, for Patriot's power supply. And just got a little power button there. And then you can charge it up out mobile, hiking, take it with you, that kind of thing. It's pretty cool. Just USB-C, and it works great. Pair those things together and that'll charge it up, no problem. It'll charge multiple of these radios on this particular one here. So that's a kind of a cool option too, the flexibility of it. If you're not around a car or a power source, wall plug-in, that kind of thing. I use the little stubbies a lot of times. I think I mentioned that. This is the stock antenna right here. Let me show you that real quick. There's the stock antenna that comes with it. There's different packages that you can get on Amazon, you guys. So it may, you know, whatever you purchase, it might vary, right? What you get with the radio. So make sure you're looking at that. For the price, I'm going to say these radios are hard to beat for value, and they perform pretty well. One thing that, let me find it real quick here. One thing that I had to change, you know how everybody loves the Roger beeps and stuff like that. Well, this thing came with this Roger beep tone set to that, and it sounds like a squelch burst. And I'm like, what the heck is this squelch burst? And it took me a minute to figure out that that's actually under the Roger beep tone 2. And it's got another tone. I'll show you that real quick. I don't care for the Roger beeps. It just is, over time, you're using these things a lot, it just gets old. So I just turn them off, and you can see no squelch burst or anything like that. But yeah, the squelch burst thing was like, what is that? So if you hear that, that's what that is. It's not something that the radio does all the time. You can actually turn that off. It's tone 2 on the Roger beep. So another little thing is you can go from channel mode to frequency mode. And it's interesting, some of these radios have been reported to be able to do the 220 megahertz band. This does not. None of mine do. I don't know if you get one. I don't know what the power output is going to be. But you can go to your channel mode or your frequency mode. You can type in frequencies from here.
1, 4, 6, 5, 2, 0.
Okay. So, or you can go
1, 1, 8, 3, 0, 0.
there. It says AM on there. So you got airband. You can type in your airband frequencies. I don't really use these radios for airband. I have scanners and better quality things designated for that, but it has it, and it's pretty cool. It has it. So, like I said, the value that these things have is going to be really hard to beat. And on Prime, I don't know how long the sale is going to be on, but on Prime Day, these are selling for $19. And I want to say they're $30 or something like that, regular price. The H3 Plus is more. If you just want a GMRS radio with lots of good little features and options and decent performance, just go with the regular H3. I don't need all the Bluetooth stuff, but if you're kind of into the goofing around and a little bit, more advanced features and just want something for a hobby, yeah, go for it. Another thing real quick, and I'll mention this and I'll wrap this video up. If you go on the Facebook forums, there's all kinds of information about firmware upgrades and stuff like that, different mods for the firmware. You get different layouts on the screen, all kinds of different things, kind of like that Quansheng fad that was going on. Let me compare this to the Quansheng too, size wise, just so you can know. Not really apples to apples comparison, but this does not do GMRS, but it's a good little radio too for the price. I think these are going for $25. So I guess it would be a competitor, but like I said, they don't do GMRS. This is what I use these little TID radios for, the H3s, and I use the H8s for GMRS as well. My ham radio stuff, I like the TID radio is perfectly fine. These are good for ham radio as well, but I tend to go on a little bit next level up stuff for ham radio. So, but that's my take on these things. I like them. They perform pretty well. I like the options that it has, the mic gain, the power settings, or the batteries, the options, how long the battery lasts. Yeah, I dig it. So there's a lot more that can be said in programming and all of that stuff, but I'm already at 14 minutes here. But anyhow, I do recommend it. I like it. Tidradio sent me this one out, but I've purchased these two others, and I will be giving this one away to my a good friend of mine that I want to try and get into, further their GMRS experience. So it's a good little pocket radio. I don't know if you'd use it for a primary radio, but to carry the thing with you, put it in your console in the cup holder or something. I mean, just have one with you all the time if you can. That's just kind of how I do it. Anyhow, thanks for watching, you guys. Appreciate you. We'll catch you later. If you got any comments or opinions on this radio, like I said, Facebook forum is really good. I know a lot of people don't have Facebook, but there's lots of information on there about these radios and the H8. So I would maybe steer you there, and I don't know if it's going to help or put you down a rabbit hole of information and stuff. But as far as my experience, these three radios have performed just fine for me. So, and my experience is Tidradio communicates really well, and if there is a problem, they'll make it right. So we'll catch you later. I'll have a link. Tidradio's link to their store and their Amazon, and you can use those if you'd like to help them out. So, but yeah, hopefully you can get a good deal on these things. We'll catch you later. Have a good one.